today's we'll be starting today's final review of the Outlier, and I'm sure that all of us we are all happy. We are so happy, and right from the beginning, where we started some couple of weeks ago, we started with the Rossetto mystery, right? Where we talked about how a particular set of people do not fall ill. Then we took it back down to part one of the book where it talked about the opportunities for us, down to the second part where it talked about legacy. And here we are in the final version that our reviewer will be doing justice to. He'll be giving us what he has learned through the Jamaican story, rather, a Jamaican story, yes. And at the end of his own, we'll be asking other people to also give us their own contribution. It might not just be on this one since it's the final version, the final parts, right? So I'm sure that all of us have read this particular story. So it was a short one. And I'll just invite to this virtual attempt to the person of Nuruddin Ali Balogun to help us dissect the Jamaican story. Thank you. Nuruddin, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Muradeyo. And hope I'm loud and clear before
Yeah,
I
you're
continue.
audible. You're
Okay,
audible.
so it has been an interesting journey on the Outliers. The journey started from Roseto and it is landing us in Jamaica. And through this journey, we've learned a lot. And the last part is quite personal to the author himself, as he's looking at the outliers concept from his own personal story and his own personal experience. So the epilogue is about a Jamaican story, which is about Malcolm Gladwell's deep personal reflection on his own family's journey. And the book is trying to tie together the book's central theme of opportunity, legacy, and cultural context as well. So this chapter is quite short in terms of the concept involved, and it is just talking about how the journey started for Malcolm Gladwell from his great grandmother, who was sort of born into slavery. So she was black, and from the book, she was an Igbo woman, which means Malcolm Gladwell has a root in Nigeria. So she was born into slavery. She was black and somehow got involved with one of the colonizers in Jamaica then, and this led to the lineage that came from her to have some unique opportunities that is made Gladwell recount the story of his grandmother, Daisy Nation as well, who was a Jamaican school teacher, and her daughter, Joyce, who happens to be Malcolm Gladwell's mother. So Malcolm Gladwell's mother, Daisy, was lighter skin tone, and this is because of the lineage she inherited and the genes she inherited from great grandfather being white, and due to the mixed ancestry, then these afforded her some certain privileges in Jamaica, which was a racially stratified society as at then. I think up to now there's still some level of I won't call it racism, but some classism in terms of your skin color that determines some level of privileges you get. So this is now like a combination of ancestral advantage and some opportunities that Joyce experienced with her twin sister when they received a scholarship to an elite school, um, as some new educational reforms were introduced. And this gave us the concept of being opportuned to enjoy some perfect timing in terms of opportunity. So, and this led Joyce to study in London and met Gladwell's father, and they later moved to Canada, where she became a successful writer. And Gladwell emphasizes also that their success wasn't just about talent or hard work, but it was shaped by historical advantages, cultural legacies, and fortunate timing as well. So this chapter is making us reflect on a powerful concept of concluding on the book, which says that no one succeeds alone. So meaning success is not totally in isolation. It is not only due to hard work. And in this chapter and the book as a whole, Gladwell dismantles the myth of a self-made individual by showing how his own achievements were built on a foundation laid by generations before him. And he also acknowledged the uncomfortable truths about colorism, colonial history, and some social privilege, making the story both personal to him and universally relatable to people like us who are fortunate to later read the book he wrote from his own experience and study. So, and this is also a humbling reminder that success is often a product of circumstances meeting preparation, and that by expanding access to opportunity, we can help ourselves and more people as well to become outliers. And tying this back to the other chapters and what we've learned so far in this interesting journey, it is only telling us that it is always profitable to be prepared. Like what we see in the concept of the 10,000 hour rule of people like Bill Gates and the Beatles, who had rare opportunities to be able to practice their talent and skills for an average of 10,000 hours, which gave them some leverage to master their skills, to achieve some level of mastery that is rare. And also timing too as well, like what we see in the Canadian orchestras and some other tech giants that were born at the right time when the Industrial Revolution was tilting towards um, computerization and what was in vogue then, which made them early starters in the era we are now. And they were able to learn and also invest their time, opportunities they got, resources as well, then that they are now enjoying now. And also cultural legacies as well, which is deep-rooted in social patterns affecting modern outcomes. And these cultural legacies were things that were evident in the rice paddies and mathematics, where how the Asian guys or the Chinese are quite very fluent in mathematics is tied to hardworking from the rice paddies, and also how their numbering system that makes it faster for them to quickly do calculations compared to English counterparts. And also the cultural thing also shows us some parts where if we allow the disadvantages or the negative parts of our culture affect us as well, it can hinder our chances of being successful. And we saw that in the story of plane crash, where a lot of lives will have been saved, and the situation would have been better if the issue of culture and being too respectful didn't come in between doing what is right, giving clear instructions um and deliberations at the right time. Because in that case, if the co-pilot wasn't too afraid to talk to the other people and also being timid to communicate with the English um, person to giving them guidance, he will have been able to salvage the situation. So as we are focusing on our cultural advantages, we should also not sideline understanding how our weaknesses can also affect us and see how we can easily balance things so that we focus on our strengths, we capitalize on them, we know our weaknesses, and we see how we can either work on them or see how we can find alternatives that will help us edge against our weaknesses. And also, from the other chapters, we see the impact of family and upbringing as well, where some practical intelligence was passed down through generations. And also family and upbringing too, we saw the effect in people like I can't remember his name. The guy who went for the show. I can't remember his name now. The guy who went for the I think a show like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Can someone help me with the name? So the guy was quite intelligent as IQ. However, his upbringing came in the way of getting some opportunities, like the time when he's supposed to speak up, or maybe his mother was supposed to intercede on his behalf, he couldn't. And due to that, he lost some opportunities. Whereas some other people with different upbringing who were taught to have grit, to be able to speak up for themselves, or where the family knows that the first no sometimes is not the absolute result of you requesting something, that you can try harder, would have been able to. Yeah, Logan. I remember his name now. Logan. That would have been able to get some things done just by trying harder. So this is bringing us to the end of the entire book, and it is just telling us that behind every success story is a web of history, chance, and culture. And also that real success is not always individual efforts, but usually a community story. And before I leave the floor open for others to also comment or add their observations, I would just like to quickly add some things that the entire concept we learned and understood from the outlier is that success is usually determined or enhanced by two main things, which is opportunity and legacy. And narrating that and relating that to our current realities now, opportunities are closing in now and becoming more global, and we can take advantage of the tools we have at hand now, like the internet, like the AI tools as well, to make some things easier for us, unlike then when a lot of things has to be done manually, or you have to travel or be somewhere physically to get some things done. And also, the 10-hour rules can help us to get a lot of things done and have some edge as well in terms of quickly identifying some skills or passion that can take us further or that is in demand, master them with the availability of tools, of technological tools we have now, master them, apply the 10,000-hour rules, then be on the lookout for opportunities both online, one-on-one as well, and being strategic about putting ourselves out there so that we will be more open to opportunities and studying the perfect timing of what is in vogue, what is in demand in terms of skills and all, and positioning ourselves on the global stage. And also, this is also easier done when we surround ourselves with enablers. And I'm glad to be part of this community, part of this Kaizen group. It is a very good step for all of us ahead because being in a community like this will definitely enhance your mindset toward positivity, will definitely make you have an open mind, and also will give you an edge because it is a rare opportunity for us to be in this kind of group where we are dissecting the book like Outliers, and the lessons we've learned from it, I'm sure, will not just go to waste. We will implement them. And also going forward, the other books we are going to review as well, I'm sure we will have one or two lessons that we will pick from them and will also implement. It's been an interesting journey on the Outliers, and patiently waiting for us to start the new book. And I think the book that won is Atomic Habits. So I can't wait for us to start getting into that as well. Thank you so much for your time, and over to you, Brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nuruddin. Thank you for giving us an overview of the whole book again and also telling us the life um of the author, right? Taking us through his family history from his great grandmother to his grandmother to his mom and to himself. So yeah, we say thank you. Yes, so you've actually you said everything I said I was going to say, but fine, it's good. Right. So we could see that the one thing that stood out for me is the skin, the light skin, the opportunities that came with the light skin people. So I guess it's part of bias, right? Once people see this person is light skinned, they feel okay, you can work with us. So it helps her in a way. It helped that she got more privileges, and that is what we call cultural legacy in this particular book. I guess there were four things that the Nuruddin listed out for us, which is opportunity. He talked about the cultural legacy. He also talked about the family background. He talked about the background. Because of the opportunity that the great grandmother had, she was able to, the grandma, rather, Raya, the grandma, that's Desi. Because of her own educational background, the opportunity, and the year the twins were born, they were able to get that scholarship at that particular point in time. So the opportunity was available at that point in time for them. So, like you said, we should always be ready. We never can tell when a particular opportunity will come knocking right at our door. So we have 8 more minutes. Today is not just about the Jamaican story, right? Because this is the final part where he took us through their own history from his great grandmother. So anybody that wants to tell us from anywhere of the book what we've learned so far from the book, be it the 10,000 principle, be it from the Oki story, anything that you just want us to share that you can just even help us to refresh our memory, you can just signify and we would unmute your mic. Okay? So I would, and you can also use the chat to read it out for you in case where you are might be noisy. So just drop your story. Okay, so from what from this final
I'm raising my hand in
final
case when you are done.
oh sorry, I cannot sorry, okay. So from this final verse, they said we are product of history, community, opportunity, and legacy. Our success is not exceptional or mystery. So basically, it's just saying that some people are born into rich families. So we should, because our family is rich, we should not be lazy. Take that opportunity. The fact that you were born in that home, will also help you because the people you interact with would actually help you grow. So then also it talked about community, where you stay. The Rossetto principle gave us a deep dive into what the community could do to us, right? There we knew, I guess it was 90 something percent of the total community that at a particular age, they didn't have the heart disease. So they had to run an experiment on them and they found out that it was a community factor. So all these things, when we put them together, I would just encourage us to try to reflect again on the book and see how we can actually grow daily. Okay, I'll pause now and go with Kazim. Kazim, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nuruddin, and thank you, Deyo. Please confirm that you can hear me clearly.
Yes, you are very clear.
All right. So thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. First, I want to congratulate all of us that participated in the reading and review of this book. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 4th book, right, that we are reading.
Yes, you're correct.
It has been very interesting. I just want to start to say that some of us might feel that I have not read this book. And because of that, maybe I'm not happy and all of that. I just want to assure you that if you have followed the 10 weeks review that we have done on this book, you will not remain the same, right? Like I said, I've read this book before, but reading it again and also sharing or listening to people sharing their thoughts has also helped me to appreciate insight from others. The summary of this book from my own perspective is just basically 3 things. Number 1, Malcolm challenged status quo to say that people often believe that people are outliers or successful just because of their talent, natural instincts, because of their wealth of knowledge. He challenged the status quo to say that there are more to it. People are outliers not because they have talent. Yes, talent is part of it, is critical, but there are more to it. There are almost talented people that are not outliers because they lack other factors. That's the first lesson that I've learned. And that means that for all of us to be successful in this VUCA world, we need to challenge status quo. We need to start reinventing and reflect about our reasoning and adapt it to the reality that we find ourselves. The second thing I'm learning or I want to share from this book is opportunity. Please and please. I'm from a rich family. I'm from a family of professor. I'm from this and that. They are all huge opportunities for us to leverage on to achieve a bigger thing in life. Okay? So anything you see that makes you different from the next person is an opportunity. How are you tapping into those opportunities? You have a lot of intelligent people around you. You have a lot of talented people around you. It's an opportunity you need to leverage on. Are you leveraging on it? You have a huge network of professionals that can spur you, that can throw you into, let's say, far ahead of others. Are you leveraging on them? And the last one is what we call legacy. Where we came from, our upbringing has a lot to say about how we can become outliers. So please, we have actually done 10 weeks of this review, and that's to tell us how interesting some of these things are. If you have spent some time in 10 weeks, you'll have read at least a chapter, and then you will have also helped to revive your reading skills. So I want to beg all of us to ensure that we reflect on the core lessons of this book and try to apply it. The next book we are reading has already been voted for Day Your Right. That is Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you don't have the book, go and buy it. If you have the book, this is the best time to dust it and start reading it, and let's start the journey again. Day Your next week should be our game, right? I don't know. It should be our game night where we review the entire.
End of the month.
No, I think we should just anyway. We can take that offline, but since we are done with this book, I feel we should just close it and then start James Clear book immediately. But we need to honestly appreciate the team, appreciate all our 10 reviewers, because while I was talking, I went to check the 10 of them, and I can say all of them actually squeezed out their time to help us. Thank you, Dayo, for the fantastic review, and congratulations for being the person. You opened the chapter, actually. You and Blessing opened it. And good enough, you're also closing it with Dorothy.
And I'm closing it.
So you're a fantastic person. So I'll over back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kazim, for the closing speech. I guess it's 8 o'clock by our time, so you just give me 2 minutes because I borrowed 2 minutes for everybody to join before we started. So all of you give me 2 minutes back. So thank you. So this evening, I was just looking at the book and I was like, oh, when I started the introduction. And now again, I am closing the book. Okay, so like Kazim has earlier said, next week will be our game night where we'll be answering questions. You know how we do it, right? For new joiners, what we do is most times at the end of the month, but this time is not falling at the end of the month. So we'll decide to do it next week and we'll play out questions, you answer, and 3 people will win our small money. So just encourage your friends. You can invite your family. You can also join our WhatsApp group, Instagram page, YouTube, watch and like, comment. Please invite your friends, right? So that it's just 30 minutes every day, right? You know, one thing is every day, just take it as a new day. You might know something might happen yesterday and you were not able to conclude. So when you wake up in the morning, just take that same day as a new day, right? And just start over. When you just pick up, you know, they said that there's a word that I say, you only fail when you don't pick yourself back. So for us to be successful, we have to pick ourselves back from wherever we have fallen. So that's how we'll continue growing and growing and growing. And like for the winners, for people that voted, thank you. Even though my book did not still win, I hope next time it will win. Atomic Habits people, thank you for voting for your choice. So don't worry, I will be the winner next time. So next 2 weeks we'll start atomic habits. And I'm sure if we always provide soft copy. Hopefully we'll also do same for people that might not be able to buy. And for people that can buy and give, please do same. Thank you and have a lovely evening, everyone. See you same time next week for our game night.
Thank you, Deo. Thank you, Nuruddin. Have a lovely night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.